Where did the curse begin? In a garden, in the Garden of Eden. Where is Jesus when he comes, where he becomes the substitute for our punishment? Where does it begin? He says, the hour has come, and he enters into a garden. It is in the garden Jesus cries out an extreme amount of fear and dread when looking at the cup of God's wrath, which we looked at back in John, and he's looking at our curse and our punishment. The payment of our sin is so intense. It says Jesus was almost dead. He almost died from just the thought of experiencing the wrath of God. They take Jesus from the garden, and what do they do to him? They strip him from his clothes, and he stands before the people naked. The shame of our sin, Jesus is now experiencing. Naked and ashamed as Adam and Eve stood in the garden because of what they have done, Jesus now stands shamefully naked before the people. As he stands before the people, what is it they place upon his head? The crown of thorns. The soldiers who placed this on his head had no idea what they had just done. But they had completed the perfect symbol of what Christ was doing on the cross for our behalf. He was taking on the very curse that caused their actions. As God cursed the earth with Adam's sin, with the thorns, Jesus is now standing naked, ashamed, and receiving the punishment of the curse with the crown on his head. They take Jesus, and where do they put him? On a tree. The tree is where our innocence was lost in the Garden of Eden, and it is upon a tree that our righteousness was restored. They take his body after his death, and he accomplishes, it is finished, it is over, and that is what we celebrate. But the story is not over. They take his body down off the cross as prophesied. And John tells us in John chapter 19, verse 41, now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden. And in the garden, a new tomb in which no one had yet been laid. On Resurrection Sunday, our Savior came walking out of death's door, and where does he walk into? A garden. Please don't tell me this is random. Our King takes his victory stroll, his victory lap in a garden. Where it all began, where Satan deceived the world and brought the whole world into a devastating curse. Jesus, the Savior of the world, comes to the garden to be led to the tree. He drinks in the Father's wrath and dies. When he comes back to life, he is in a garden where it all began. Church, these words are given to us by the Father for our benefit. Each word is here so that we might see his glorious truths and believe. In the middle of our pain, we can still rejoice. In all of the confusion and chaos, there is hope. Jesus became the curse so that we would be set free from it.